there are aspects which assist us in recognizing the Bab at this bicentenary of his birth that we may not have all thought about recently. This is a kind of a review which will help us to look at the Bab from different aspects. For instance, I've collected some comments and thoughts from particularly the vision of the guardian of the history of the faith to share here today. First of all, we have the question of his mission. How do we summarize the mission of the Bab in very few words? This is always our challenge. We don't have a lot of time to talk to people. We want to get what's important into what we say or what we think when we reflect, when we remember the Bab, when we think of the Bab. How do we express the whole mission of the Bab in one or two short paragraphs? We have two documents that Shoghi Effendi prepared. One was prepared for the High Commissioner of Palestine early on in 1933. Shoghi Effendi was writing to him. The municipality of Haifa was wanting to build a road directly in front of the shrine of the Bab, which would have become a traffic road of traffic, and Shoghi Effendi was pressed to bring to the attention of the High Commissioner, the highest authority in the land, the sacredness of the site of the Bab. So he had to summarize the coming of the Bab, who the Bab was, and what the shrine of the Bab meant to a world of followers of the Bab and his faith throughout the world. Needless to say, his intention in preparing this document was fully confirmed by God, and the government didn't build a road in front of the shrine of the Bab. We have the path of the pilgrims instead, and that's quite appropriate. So he opens, he says, the forerunner of the faith, he's talked to him about that, he wants to describe the faith. He said, the forerunner of the faith was Mirza Ali Muhammad of Shiraz, known as the Bab, the Gate, who proclaimed on May 23rd, 1844, his twofold mission as an independent manifestation of God and herald of one greater than himself, who would inaugurate a new and unprecedented era in the religious history of mankind. Seems to me, friends, in any presentation that we make, we want to get these points across if we're going to describe something about the Bab's mission. He was the forerunner of the faith, he was the Bab, and he proclaimed a twofold mission. Do you remember now what the twofold mission is? Independent manifestation of God, herald of one greater than himself. This is an introduction way back in 33, before the Dawnbreakers was translated, before we had God Passes By with its fuller explanation, before Shoghi Effendi's magisterial letter, the dispensation of Baha'u'llah, where he defines in great detail the independent manifestation of the Bab and also his role as herald of one greater than himself.